Hi guys, it's Ona. Today is Monday, November 18th, and I'm going to do a mental health and body language assessment on Prince Andrew. This is for entertainment purposes only, so it is just based on my opinion, reading energy off the cards. The first thing I want to say about Prince Andrew is that I watched the interview that he did regarding his relationship with Epstein, and a couple things pop out right away. He mentioned that he didn't know how many times a year he met with Epstein. He said 2 or 3 times, shaking his head no and answering the question. So the answer's he was there more frequently. He knew him better. He tried to distance his relationship from him by saying he was friends with Ghislaine more than Epstein, really kind of dodging the question there. He stutters and he blinks his eyes repeatedly when he answers a question that is extremely difficult and he's trying to hide something. When he was asked if he knew this Russian girl who has accused him, he got fidgety. He stuttered and blinked his eyes. When he was asked if he knew about the abuse of the underage girls, he stuttered and he blinked his eyes. He is in very deep. So those are a couple things that I picked up on. Also, he crosses his leg, his right leg over his left, the entire interview, and that is someone who's hiding their genitals, okay? He did that the entire time and kind of leaned, so it gives him sort of an edge because his vulnerable parts are not exposed. So it is hiding that sexuality. It is hiding a sexual secrets. He leans to the right a lot in the interview. A lot of that, his head down, shoulders kind of the one to the right, pointing down a little bit, leaning and bending his head that way. So when you make that gesture or you have that kind of posture, you are asking someone to go easy on you. If someone asks you a question and you go like this, that means please go easy on me. So he did that the entire time with that leaning in, really, really afraid of the questions he was going to be required to answer. And it seemed like she was not very aggressive with him. She did ask some questions, but what he answered was a bunch of garbage, okay? He said the girl that accused him mentioned in her accusation that he was very sweaty, and he said he had a condition that did not allow him to sweat, and he's over it now, or it's better now. Now you're telling a story, okay? You're telling a stupid story. Is there such a condition? Yes. Did he mysteriously have that during the time he was with this girl? Really? So whatever your internal assessment of this interview is true. He made stuff up. He lied. He's hiding, okay? Let's do a mental health exam on him. Test. A little evaluation. And by no means am I diagnosing this person who would require a team to diagnose, okay? I'm using the Golden Tarot. Just felt like this was a good deck for this individual. Really, okay? So 9 cards. First one will be appearance. I think we went over a little bit of what his appearance is, what he looks like, right? Or how he presented himself, leaning, hiding, okay? We get Appearance, we get the Knight of Wands. So again, we have something, a vehicle covering a vulnerable area. Okay? And he's holding a staff, so, you know, we can only imagine all the things he's thinking about while he's talking about this poor thing. He knew her. There is nothing that's good about lighting here, huh? Nothing. Okay. Motor coordination. We get the Page of Wands. So he's walking a narrow path. Okay. He's walking a very narrow path. Now, probably not going to see a whole lot of him moving around. I think it's going to be slow and steady movement there. And he's holding on to stuff too, so that's interesting. Speech. His speech is, we're judging it. His speech is something to be judged. Okay? There are a lot of flaws in it, and all of us are like, wait, wait a minute, why did you say something like that? Okay? So he can come off as being judgmental, but I think with this card, in this position, it's us judging him, because what he's saying is hard to believe. And it's hard to believe because it's not true. Affect, or expression of emotions. Remorse. You reap what you sow. He's coming to realize that. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Wow, this lighting is super bad. Okay. So he's holding his hand on his heart there. There's some grief. I'm sure he regrets every single second. He's about to. Thought content, fantasy versus reality. He's a fool. Okay, his thoughts are foolish. This is someone who's led by maybe magical thinking, taking a chance. That's foolish. Thought content. Thought process. Logic versus illogic. Okay? So this is somebody that's looking to for reasoning, for counsel, advice from an outside source. Oh my gosh. Perception of reality. The Hangman. Perception of reality is he sees something, he sees it from a different perspective. Maybe he doesn't see that there's anything wrong. Maybe he is gotten flipped around and realizes that I need to look at this from a different angle, or you're about to. Intellect, or level of education. Okay. So for level of education, I'm going to go ahead and say that was forced upon him, that he could be bright, but probably not that smart. Okay? And insight, wisdom, intuition, what motivates you. Oh, okay. That's what motivates you. Knight of Swords is somebody that forges ahead and doesn't think before they strike. Okay? So his motivational force is impetuous. He doesn't think before he engages. Clearly, that's the issue here. Okay? That's an interesting person. So he's made mistakes, but I don't know if we see any regret in that. Let's do a what's going to happen to you reading, okay? What's going to happen to you? You know, when I meditated on him, all I could get today was fungus. I'm going to have to do a video on just the kind of crazy stuff I see. I will explain that in the end, okay? So we got one that fell out. Let's start there. In the environment, we are trying to balance things. So I could see getting an interview is trying to tease the animosity away, try and get it out there and tell people that I have no part in this or whatever kind of garbage, okay? But trying to balance, okay? Covering that, we get the Queen of Swords, okay? She's kind of ruling the roost, so I'd say, yep, that's the Queen is covering that exposure. Above the reading, we have that there's some internal communications that are trying to put the spin on or arguing about what's going to happen. There's some internal arguing going on. Tug of war. I think the Queen is just the Queen. You can't do anything about that. Below that, the Emperor or the King. Not the King, but the Emperor. Someone who would be Pope-like, maybe. I don't know who he is. In the past, we have exhaustion, or like a spiritual exhaustion, like the weight of your spirit is so immobilized, as it should be. In the near future, Queen of Pentacles. So whoever they're going to pay, whatever lawyer or defense that they're coming up with, they're going to have to pay out. I wonder if they're making some kind of offer in that direction. Environment, he's being yelled at. Somebody's about to push him right out the castle. Okay? You're going to push him right out of the castle. In the environment, this is just disappointment. So this is, he is profoundly disappointed in himself, I hope, or the family's disappointed in him because they're trying to maybe bury some kind of scandal here, okay? They're burying a problem, but they're yelling at him, push him right out the window. And the outside influences is the Seven of Cups. So what we see, what we hear, what is reality is being interpreted as something different. So they are twisting the story. That is the outside influence. Hopes and fears. No, this could be both. This could be you're afraid that more things are going to come out or things are going to happen very quickly and you're not prepared for it. This could be that you're hoping that it goes away by moving away. It's a movement card. It's a strong will. And outcome. Oh, okay, we're going to do another row of that. So this is victory. This is somehow he's manages to get away with. But let's do another row, okay? So we've got getting into big trouble, getting pushed out the castle, covered by the King of Pentacles. So there's money, there's a bribe, there's something that is being offered. Okay, I'm going to pause this, and we're going to have a little staff meeting. Okay? Okay, so we're having a little staff meeting here. We've got in the environment or outside influence, the first one I pulled was this trying to cause a smoke screen or trying to cloud over what is really going on. They're trying to stop this. I'm guessing this is not a family that is new to scandal, right? So they know how to cover things up. And we get this card, which is a match, working behind the scenes, trying to carve a new reality. So what's happening at the outside influences is they're trying to twist this into making him innocent, or making him seem that he's not as much of a bad guy, that he was also a victim. But he wasn't. Okay? Hopes and fears. Yeah. We've got the 8 of Swords. So this is being bound, being unable to get yourself out of a situation, or having a hard time. There is a way out, but it's extremely difficult. You got some soul searching to do. And the outcome is the 4 of Wands. So there does seem to be some kind of positive stabilization there. Wow. What's on the bottom of the deck? I'm using one hand because I got Giblets dog. I got Giblets dog with me. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad. This is on the bottom of the deck. This is the High Priestess. So the secrets that come out, this is the very intuitive, knows everything. Okay. And the Knight of Swords. So that's coming and rushing in quickly and cutting everything off at the pass. So my assessment of this is they are going to try and throw out one interview. He's not going to be in the public very much. And they're going to try and cut off and redirect or make you think that there's something different. He's a cretin. Okay? And Giblets dog, it's time for dinner. Thank you so much for all your comments. Thank you for subscribing. If you like this kind of reading, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, I'm happy to entertain those. I wanted to do this because he seems to be in the public eye, but we're going to see that fade off. Oh my gosh. Big week. We'll be back. Everything's good. Take care.